Ever noticed how modern relationship podcasts sound more like manipulation seminars? That's because many are run by narcissists and they are gaslighting people into bondage. Colossians 2 and 8. See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition rather than Christ. These so called relationship experts aren't here to help you. They're here to control the narrative, degrade people, and keep victims in bondage to toxic relationships. This is spiritual warfare, and these are the spirits behind these toxic podcasts. Number one, the spirit of deception, Leviathan, the twisting spirit. These coaches twist reality, making men feel like they have to dominate women and making women feel unworthy of love unless they earn it. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Number two, the spirit of control, Jezebel and the Antichrist spirits. Jezebel is behind the podcasts that degrade women and tell them they must submit without love and push false narratives of masculinity that thrive on control instead of leadership. Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wife just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Number three, the spirit of bondage, the python and orphan spirit. These platforms fuel a cycle of rejection, insecurity, and the belief that you must audition for love, making people feel like they're never enough. Romans 8:15. The spirit you received does not make you slaves so that you live in fear again. Rather, the spirit you received brought about your adoption to sonship. So, how do narcissistic podcasters gaslight their audience? They'll blame victims for their own mistreatment, and they'll say something like, if you got cheated on, it's your fault. They promote transactional relationships instead of love. If you don't bring such and such to the table, you don't deserve love. They'll encourage women to tolerate toxic men. And they'll say it like, just be more feminine and he'll change. And they push men to suppress emotions and dehumanize women. They'll say something like, feelings are weak. Women only respect power. And they do this because keeping people in shame, insecurity, and fear benefits them. These podcasters build up empires off of people desperately trying to prove their worth. So, how do you stop feeding into the toxic relationship culture? You don't have to consume their content that destroys your self worth. And this is how you break free. Guard your spirit. Be mindful of what you consume. Stop seeking advice from broken, bitter, and unhealed people and recognize that love is a gift, not something that has to be earned through suffering. And declare, I am worthy of love as God intended. If you have ever felt unworthy because of these toxic relationship podcasts, drop I know my worth in the comments. No more lies, no more deception. Govern yourself accordingly.